that?
Table the handbook again.
Okay.
Talk you into it, huh? That's good.
We're just waiting on you?
Electronic.
There's stuff on that coffee machine. Yeah. Grab it for me.
Nobody's home.
Damn, we're at 47%?
Well, it's been high like that every month, but we actually lost 1 million gallons.
Yeah.
So that makes sense, but we're at that, but that's not actual water loss, that's something screwy in calculations and how we read the meters and how we have no, meters on the tanks.
This is the first time I've seen it.
Well, this is just showing what bank fees
We're taking out of each.
we're taking out of each thing. So they, like I said, they owe us, well, the revenue, the 35 is fine. It's all the 55s is the problem,
Oh, okay, so that's why she kind of printed it out, so that,
probably.
I was just asking because I didn't understand what this statement was.
Now we all know. Good evening, I'd like to call this regular meeting, Fraser Park Public Utility District to order, April 13th, 2023, at 6:04 p.m. Please join me, the pledge to the flag. Oh, my goodness. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call directors. Director Nyman.
Here.
Director Kelly.
Here.
Director Schoenberg.
Here.
Director Gibson.
Here.
I'm Director Garcia. Number 2, discussion on adjusting the agenda if necessary. Do I have any adjustments? Director Nyman?
We don't need to go into closed session tonight, do we, Director Schoenberg?
That's who's left at D.
Not that I know of.
Right. No,
Yeah.
Okay, so we will
Okay.
go ahead and
So
table.
I'll make a motion that we, table,
11 and 12.
11 and 12 till our next meeting.
Do I have a second?
Oh, and also the,
19?
the 19,
Okay, the
review
handbook.
of employee handbook.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Roll call directors. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0-0. Motion carried. Number 3, public comments. Any public comments from the gallery? Not seeing any, we'll move ahead to number 4. Report of officers. President,
I don't have anything.
Vice President,
No, all my stuff is further in the agenda.
thank you. Secretary, none. Treasurer,
Yes, I did we got from the progress payment number, I believe it was 10, the meter well, 116,964, we got reimbursement from the state, and I transferred that back to our CIR account. I also, we received claim 26, and I made a transfer from the planning account to the revenue operating for board fees of $583.32 and staff admin fees for $88.13. And we also received the on claim 26 the Valbridge 5,016, and so I transferred that from the planning account to the revenue operating account. And that's all I got.
excellent, thank you. JPIA rep,
I have nothing.
thank you.
Wait, one more thing.
Simon,
I have one more thing.
You're gonna do the $15?
Okay, well, we don't have to talk about that, that's, so we have a, bank fee detail report. They charged us again on another $55 on our, pre-USDA account. And so we have to go back to the bank again, so at this point, they owe us, $220, to date. So,
Is that correct? Because it looks like we were reimbursed 165.
Yeah, but that was for the previous month, so we still got
that
55.
was previous month, so I believe it's like at least 3 months that they haven't reimbursed
No,
us.
that 55, 55, and 55, December, January, and February. Oh, so you're saying,
We still got 55 to go from
Yeah.
March.
yeah, so not 200 something, just 55.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to go talk to her about this, but, yeah,
That's why I think Deborah gave us this report, so she could show the credit we got. So the credit
Right.
3 months.
yeah, but they charge us again.
Yes, so they're starting the charges again, but we did get the credit.
okay, thank you. Number 5, board member initiatives. Any of the board members have initiatives?
Nope.
Nope.
Not hearing any. Pardon me? Not hearing any, we'll move ahead to number 6, manager's report. Johnny, you have a report?
All right, we, did 3 meter changes, we had, 474 work orders this month, it's about double, but that's because we had roughly 150 boil notices. Had to repair the last week. All in all, everything's going good, we have a couple of the employees that are probably leaving us soon, so I started the hiring process. Although we don't know for sure, of course, but, so you're aware that's what's going on, and, that's all I got.
We'll wait here on the final notice. Thank you. Administrative assistance report. Tiffany?
So Johnny emailed Jerry Pearson, and it looks like by the end of next week, hopefully, we'll have the employee handbook back. Go over it. It's been almost 2 months since I emailed it to him. And then, don't forget to do your training. We're still waiting for, sexual harassment. Training.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
What happened to our checklist there?
Oh, we had to do some complicated math.
Oh.
So I needed to read.
Number 7, standing committee reports. Accounts Payable Committee?
We met, Fraser Park Lumber did not submit a, statement, so we didn't, pay them. And, when we do do a wire transfer from the bridge loan, it'll cost us $15.
Oh, yeah, we can go ahead and mention that now.
Yeah.
So when we originally paid that $116, there was a transposition, and then we paid $18 out of the revenue operating account. We wrote a check, and so we got reimbursed, and then I transferred that money back to the CIR. However, the account in the meter well was short. It seemed like it was short about $18, and we were trying to figure it out, and so we were able to track everything, and what it ended up being is a wire transfer charge of $15 when we got the bridge loan, and so that's why it was $15 short. So I'm going to have to make a transfer of $15. I don't know if I made it. I got to look.
You did.
Yeah, I made a $15. That's one I forgot to mention. I made a $15 transfer from the revenue operating back into the meter replacement, which put us right up about having an extra $100 or so in the meter replacement, so that we account for overages and underages when we get reimbursed.
Thank you, the Accounts Payable Committee. State update meeting.
Before we go on, can I just ask a quick question back on the manager's
Director Schoenberg, go ahead.
on the manager's
Manager's report?
report? Did we actually get that? Am I just not seeing it?
No, it's here, but I didn't know you weren't gonna be in office. I can email it to you right now.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't see it on the email. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. State update meeting committee.
We don't have anything. We already did it last time, and we're having it next week, and
Thank
so
you.
we'll update in the following meeting.
Quarterly financial committee.
I haven't met.
So, yeah, no, we have met. So we met once and we meet again on the 18th. And we got about a third of the way through everything. So we probably will require 2 meetings, although maybe it'll be a little faster next time because we'll have an idea of what we're doing a little bit better. But yeah, basically we went over the profit and loss and the balance sheet. We went over everything. And like I said, we're partway through. And so yeah, and then, what we also figured out, and that I didn't see, it's probably on the agenda. I'm just not looking forward. But what we need to do is take or mention it, or we may need a motion, I think, because we need to change the dates of those meetings, because the way it falls right now, it doesn't work, because the first meeting, if it falls at the beginning of the month, we don't actually have enough of the financials done to be able to do the the investigation. So like this time, we had only 2 months worth on some things and not 3. So we'd like to change the first meeting of the standing committee to the third Tuesday. And then so as not to run into the AP committee, because on some months, the way that the month falls, the way the Tuesdays fall, the AP committee has to be there that first Tuesday of the month. So we decided that it would work if we change it to the third Tuesday of every month, and then exactly 2 weeks after that, which is sometimes the 5th Tuesday, which works fine. Sometimes it's a 5th Tuesday, and on those 5th Tuesdays is when the AP committee would meet that next Tuesday, or sometimes it's the first Tuesday of the month. It just kind of depends. So I'm going to put that out there now, but I think, is that on the?
Second.
We do
But she's saying
too early in the
after
month.
the third meeting? Okay, they're gonna meet on the third Tuesday, 2 weeks after that sometimes ends up being the
First
second
week.
meeting, second Tuesday of the month, which is the 18th.
And is that actually on there to be voted on, Tiffany, somewhere? Am I just not seeing it?
Yes,
Or-
Yeah, the bylaws,
So we'll have
Yes?
to change the bylaws.
I did.
Okay, yeah, it's in the
Yeah.
bylaws. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna ask for that later on the agenda, but I just wanted to explain it because we need to meet that third week in order to have all the financials in order, and then we don't want to run into the AP standing committee, so that doing that 2 weeks later works. We went through the calendar and it works fine. So yeah, and then we'll be meeting again this time the third Tuesday, but after that it would change.
but why don't we change also the AP committee back to Wednesday on 11? That works better for me.
It's better for me.
There's a reason, because there's a problem with always having to read it at the last minute. I mean, yeah, it works great, but that's not working. Like, it's good for your schedules, but it doesn't work well for getting our stuff out because it's always done by the very end of the day, even when you guys meet on Tuesday. And so sometimes it's not done until Thursday if you meet on Wednesday, which gives very little time to review anything before the meeting. I mean, I try to read all the financials.
Okay, so I
Okay.
get screwed on my schedule. Okay, no problem.
Well, I mean,
Okay, thank you.
if the other board members want to do that, so be it. And I guess we can address it on that item on the agenda, but it's not easy for me to go over the financials. that
Move
way.
along. Move along.
Okay, we're not gonna take any action on that. Thank you.
Can't.
Number 8, ad hoc committee reports. Project committee.
We met, I think it was a week ago, and went over the, which will be covered in the budget letter. We went over the budget with Dee and Oscar and Carlos, and we had a budget, discussion and adjustment for the budget, and that letter is in here, which we will be going over for approval.
Thank you.
Anything else, Lisa? Director
No,
Schoenberg?
no, I think that's good enough.
Okay, thank you. Full committee.
So on the financial committee, we have not met yet. There was snow and it was too slippery, so to get to the office, so we need to, I don't think we set a date yet for that though, so we need to set a date and meet, and that is to go over the 2021, 2022 financials.
We could probably
Okay.
discuss it when we meet on Tuesday for the quarterly, right?
I believe so, if that's on the agenda, yes.
Okay.
So
Thank
Tiffany,
you.
Tiffany, if that's on the agenda for the 18th, or can you put that on the agenda for the 18th? So that we can
That,
discuss,
that's already out.
oh,
I just, I have to put.
Well, all they gotta do is figure out what day they're gonna meet.
I can talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
well, no, because I don't know if we can discuss that, can we? If it's not on the agenda? I guess we could add an agenda item. It's not posted.
Due to time sensitivity,
Can.
you can on the standing committee?
They can close the meeting, they can do their standing committee meeting, close the meeting, and there's only 2 of them, so they can set the date right at the end of the meeting.
Because that's an ad hoc committee.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that'll happen on Tuesday.
Yay. Okay.
Thank you. Number 9, financial business, discussion vote on accounts payable and financial information.
Deborah.
Deborah Angel, are you here?
Yeah. She's there.
Hello?
Yes.
You
Hello?
have the floor.
Good evening. Okay,
Hi, Deborah.
Good evening and welcome.
hello.
Mm.
We
Mm.
cut 4 checks from the meter well account totaling $21,745.52. The extraordinary amount was a check payable to D. Jasper for claim 10 in the amount of $17,223.51. And then we cut 2 checks from the planning account for a total of $4,983.35. And the extraordinary amount was a check to D. Jasper for claim 26 for $4,304.85. We cut 33 checks totaling $52,301.16 from the operating account. The extraordinary disbursements were a payment to ACWA, JPIA for the bonds in the amount of $3,200. A check to JPIA for the medical, employee benefits for $8,201.43. A payment for the visa in the amount of $4,516.31. A payment to Coastline in the amount of $9,134.07.
And that was repairs and maintenance on, was it the backhoe?
The John Deere.
Loader.
On the loader.
I have a question on that.
Go ahead, Director Gibson.
We approved an extended warranty. It doesn't apply to the repairs that needed to be done?
Different vehicle, different piece of equipment. Paid for the extended warranty on the new backhoe, the loader we got for free in 2012 for 2014.
Oh, okay, I have my machines confused. Sorry.
No worries.
I have a question, Deborah, and I think it's just because we looked at this stuff earlier, but on the Financial Standing Committee, we looked at the bonds, and is that because that was the bill was in March, but the payment is now?
Correct.
Okay, just wanted to double check that we didn't pay it twice.
No, we didn't.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay, a payment to RMR Water Trucks for $6,620.60. Our Edison.
Oh, can you hold on just a second, Deborah? I'm
Sure.
sorry.
No,
Johnny, is that the only water hauling that we're gonna be seeing bills on, or is there more?
That should be it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, Deborah, sorry.
okay. The Edison bill was $7,279.92. And I think that is the last extraordinary.
Johnny, the Edison bill went up again, I think. So is that because of this, that they raised their rates again?
Probably because the million gallons of water we lost and well having to run on stop for 4 days. That would be my guess.
I couldn't understand that at all. You were breaking up.
Probably the million gallons of water that we lost due to that pipe break and the well having to run for 4 days to keep up.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. Thank you.
I make a motion that we pay our bills.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded to pay our bills. Roll call of directors. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0. Motion passed. Okay, number 10. Discuss and vote on in-house and online credit card fees.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Who's
say
that?
something about this. So when we did the quarterly financial standing committee, Director Gibson and Deborah and myself, we noticed that we're paying quite a bit of money, like thousands, 4,000 or so dollars out for the use of credit cards, but we're only bringing in about a couple hundred to cover that. So we're basically losing about, I don't know, over 3,000, almost 4,000 a month on our
month?
Yeah, month, yeah.
Yeah, for a while there, I was happy to, because of COVID, happy to let people pay online and not be charged, but now I think we probably need to revisit that idea and, decide to go ahead and charge them again, so we at least, break even.
I thought we were doing that.
Oh, we decided.
We're nowhere, yeah, we're nowhere
I know.
close to breaking even. And so, yeah, I think we may have to also consider, I mean, some of it, we're never going to break even completely, I think, because part of it is for the convenience of not having everybody try to come into the office to pay. So I think that, it's okay to eat some of that amount, but certainly not like thousands. So, so we definitely need to look at that. And I don't know if Deborah,
I think we should charge whatever they charge us to process the credit card now.
Well, I don't understand the in-house and online. We've got the average fee payment, and I don't understand what all
Tiffany,
of
would you
that
like
is.
to expound on that, please?
Yeah, I created this spreadsheet just to give you an idea. So in-house is when they call Sonia on the phone or walk in person to get the credit card. Right now, we charge $1.50 per transaction. And if you look in the top table in the red number column,
Yeah.
After doing the math, that's what we're averaging per transaction. So we're closer to about $1.75 to $2 per transaction is what we're being charged after all our fees. We're only collecting $1.50, so that's to give you an idea. And then on the bottom, when somebody pays online or uses the automatic phone payment system,
Right.
that's how much, right now, we're not charging people anything, but that's how much we're being charged. So you have the merchant fee, so if you look April 2022, the merchant fee is $1.56 for that month average.
Plus
plus
80 cents.
80 cents from our charge for transaction warehouse, so
Mm.
we're looking at, what, $2.50 on average?
Yeah.
That's
Those
pretty
are rough
standard for a
numbers.
credit card fee when you pay bills.
So I think we should just, I think that we should, probably go to at least a $2.50 fee for in-house and for online.
I agree.
I would hesitate to do that in-house, only because our ability to establish these fees and charge people is the fact that they're, without doing a Prop 218, is the fact that they're pass-through fees. So we have to justify that we're giving them about our cost.
Right.
So we can't charge them, we wouldn't be able to justify charging them more than our average cost. So in-house to go up to $2.50, we
Couldn't justify that.
couldn't justify that.
But
Yeah.
we could justify going up to at least 2.
So, yeah, it looks that way. If you
How come some of them are $1 and some of them are $2? I don't understand. Are they, is it a certain percent that they charge?
Yeah.
It goes on, if you look at the total paid, like this is 16,000, whatever, then it's a percentage on that.
Well, yeah, and it depends on what type of credit card they're using, because MasterCard
Charges more.
different fee than Visa, which is a different fee than any other card. So it just all adds up, and it changes each month.
Okay, but is it, oh, it does?
Well, it depends on who pays what,
With what card?
how much
Oh.
they're paying on the transaction. That's why it fluctuates, because it's,
But, is MasterCard like 2% and Visa 3% or 2.5%? Yep.
something, but I couldn't tell you exactly.
Okay, but
yeah.
it's a percentage. It's
It's
what,
a percentage plus other fees that they charge, but yeah.
that's why I was like,
There's a lot,
there's no rhyme or reason unless there's,
Mhm.
okay.
a lot of fees built in.
Okay,
I'd like to make a motion.
okay, go ahead,
Director Edelberg, you have the floor.
I'd like to move that we raise the in-person credit card payment fee to $2 and the in-house, and raise the online to $2.50.
I'll second that.
Ask a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Effective when?
Can't do it this month.
Effective when?
It'd have to be next month.
May 1?
May.
May,
Yeah,
Do we need to send out a letter to our customers?
I don't know that we have to, but
We put something in the, oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Put a sign in the front
when
for
do you
people
want
who
it to
come
be
in.
effective, Director Schoenberg?
I would say effective the 1st of next month.
Or how about the 21st, the 21st of April? Because the 20th is the normal for them to pay on time, and anything after the 21st, they can pay the new fee.
Is that a issue, Deborah, as far as things changing up in the middle of a billing cycle? Like, is it easier to do it on a in May than in doing the 21st of April?
I don't think it affects our record keeping. Because, I mean, these are things that get reconciled at the end of the month.
I would say that we can put a notice on definitely on our website. So saying that it's changed. I mean, I had a second, right? So we're
Yeah.
in discussion. Okay. So, yeah, so I mean, my only concern with raising the online, not in-house 250 is that more people start to do the in-house again, because right now we have quite a few people doing the online. That would be my only kind of worry, that right now it's helped us by not having as many people trying to process stuff in the office. But I think a difference of 50 cents may not matter, because it's more than 50 cents probably to drive over from some parts of Fraser to the office.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that.
No, I think there should be a note up in the front that the rates are going up.
So I'm
So
okay.
did you
I'm
finish
okay
your
with-
motion?
I'm okay with the friendly amendment. I believe that was a friendly amendment to change it from Director Nyman to the April 21st. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Do I have a
accept
second?
that. Yeah. I seconded it, yes.
Okay, we have a motion, it's been seconded. Roll call, Director Nyman,
Aye.
Dr. Kelly,
Aye.
Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye, 500. Motion carried. Number 11 of 12 have been tabled. Number 13.
Excuse me. Hello?
Deborah, go ahead.
Wait, Before I ask if you're done, with me, I wanted to point out that I added 3 reports to the financials. One you've already discussed, and that's the bank fees. And the other 2 are detail of items that are supposed to be recategorized. On the balance sheet, there is an account. It says suspense to be recategorized, and it's on page 6 of your balance sheet. The figure you look at on your balance sheet is a summary figure, and I thought it might be helpful if you see the detail, and in this case, it's just one item. So when you flip the page, you'll get a detailed report of items that need to be recategorized on the balance sheet.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
That's the very last one on the balance sheet.
And then there's also one for the profit and loss. And that is for accounts, transactions to be recategorized. And then on the page following that, you'll see a detailed list of what those items are.
Right, and those items will be recategorized within the financial committee, correct?
Yes, I just thought that.
Yeah, I think so.
If there are
Yeah.
any items that are still left on the financial statements when the board meets, then it would be helpful to know what those items are, so they don't get forgotten.
I agree.
Very
Thank-
end.
And that's all I
You're
wanted
talking
to.
about,
The very end of the balance sheet. It says it has RMR,
yeah,
water trucks in Golden Valley Water District.
Okay.
And a total of 7,640.60.
Yeah.
And then on the balance sheet itself, she has that category on there as transactions to be recategorized, so it shows up in the profit and loss statement.
right.
And I did have a couple other questions on the balance sheet, but I think that is better served on the financial committee
Okay.
probably, so,
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Deborah. Have a nice evening.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Have a
Thank
good night.
Bye, Deborah.
Bye.
Okay, going back to our, number 13, discussion vote update on Fraser Park, Lake of the Woods, consolidation planning project. Letter A, discussion vote review, project timeline.
Yeah, that's D.
No changes.
There is no changes.
Okay, B, budget adjustment request.
Okay, we, talked it over with, well, we had talked to Lawrence, and so we sent him a letter next week. We had our ad hoc, meeting, and, as you can see on the letter, the, budget item of legal was at $15,553, and we increased that by $14,788 up to $30,341.09. Then consolidation engineering, which is where we're also putting the meetings that Dee attends. The budget was $22,000. We increased it by $8,969.18, which brings that budget to $30,969.18.
and can I just say
and then
something quickly, Roma?
Sure, you may, Director Schoenberg.
So yeah, that item, the consolidation engineering, that was changed over because we had some concerns with money still being charged under the test wells. And so this sort of cleans up that item of test well engineering. We didn't add any additional money to that because it makes more sense now to be charging his meetings under consolidation rather than test wells.
Yes.
Good point.
And then under the MSR, we increased it by $6,000 to $41,000. And then environmental documents, went up by 3,457, and we took the money from the test well. The budget is 234, and we revised it down to 201,385. We took 33,214.27 to distribute to the other budget items. And so that's what we're going to present this letter and try and get approval from the state of California, from Lawrence Sanchez. With that, if there isn't any questions,
We'll move on to,
I will make a motion that we approve the budget letter with budget
Rama?
changes. Yes.
Yeah, before you approve it, if you look at the date, I made it out for the last meeting of the month. So if you guys want to approve it today, we're gonna have to change that date to today's meeting.
I don't think, Director Nyman, I don't think we should approve it yet. I think we should discuss this with Lawrence, make sure he's okay with all of that. Since we have the letter to him now and it spells it out very clearly, and then we can approve it on the state meeting.
Okay, sounds good, whatever.
okay, moving along then.
Cool.
Letter C, project technical memo.
Working on it. I'm using, I developed quite a bit of information, developing the MSR, the engineering portion of it. So I'm working on, the MSR and the technical report. The MSR report was issued in draft form, and ad hoc committee and I need to get together and go through that. I'm sorry, that's a different item. I was commenting on G, sorry. At least partly.
So basically,
Okay.
Well,
D, you need to finish G and have some approval before you can absolutely finish the project technical memo.
Correct, correct.
And that's this book we have that looks like about 300 pages.
600, I think, but yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna say it's 700, I mean, it's 900, I don't know.
There are a lot of appendices in there, and actually some reports that are referenced in the technical part that I wrote that we needed to put in the appendix.
And did you send that there's just a copy in the office, right? But you didn't actually end up sending it. Is that correct, or did I miss it?
I did
There's
send.
just a copy in the office.
And I sent the written part, I think it's 30 pages or something like that, to the ad hoc committee, but I didn't include the appendix because
Okay.
of the size of it.
Okay. And
Okay, letter D. Acquisition and development of well number 8 property.
Over there.
Just on this end, consolidating a report on the need for early drilling of well number 8 in Fraser Park. And just basically putting together information that I've already issued, but it's just kind of a summary report of that. Should be out tomorrow, and I'll issue it in draft form to the ad hoc committee.
Excellent. Thank you, Dean. Letter E, discuss and vote on the acquisition and development of well 9 property.
I have nothing new on that one.
well, we did discuss briefly, and I think that was outside of the meeting. I think that was with the ad hoc. We just reiterated the fact that we probably are not going to move forward as quickly on well 9 because of the astronomical price of developing that well and then being able to even go, like, I was hoping that we could go back towards Fraser Park with it at the very least. But even that is beyond the scope of what we could afford. So I think that was, even though I know that Lake of the Woods is, very concerned and wants us to move ahead, but we may not be able to move ahead as quickly with that particular site, just because we would need to acquire so much of the consolidation funding.
Yeah, that's right, Lisa. It's the, what really makes the difference is a tremendous amount of equipment that you have to install for that in order to work. And so that really drives the price way up, up into the tens of millions. Nearly 20.
Point well taken.
So we felt
Okay.
we felt that even if we needed, I mean, it would be horrible, but if for some reason we started running out of water, they started running out in Lake of the Woods, that if we could at least get well 8 developed, that would give us an additional water source, even if we had to truck water or something, and while we were waiting to get for well 9. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully the well in Lake of the Woods is able to maintain us, maintain them currently until we can do both wells. But that was definitely a concern about them approving any kind of money to move forward on well 9.
Would it be appropriate to ask at this point in time if there are any improvements in water levels in Lake of the Woods?
This is Joan. Yeah,
Lydia, Colin, you have the table, you have the floor.
we can go over that when we get to number I, when we give all of our, because we got lots of information for you guys tonight. I did have a question on number E on the acquisition and development. Would it be possible to move forward on the acquisition and not go forward on the development, because that's where the big expense is? And that way at least the property's blocked in?
Yes.
Yeah, we're planning on going forward with the acquisition. And that's something that Dee is still working on.
In fact, we need to, Joan, because we don't have as much time in terms of, making sure that we're moving forward on that. And well, we got the memo of intent to them, but yes, that would probably be something that we would pay out of pocket from the water company before we got involved with the money that we would need for the development of all.
For the project itself, yeah.
Okay, so then it needs, I assume, one of the items that was tabled that you need to have the closed session about.
Yeah, we're still not there yet.
And we will probably be having a more discussion on that at the next meeting. We will be talking about some of this in the project, the state update meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, items had previously been tabled, so we'll continue to table it.
Yep.
G, discussion vote on project municipal service review, MSR, quote, draft MSR, data collection, scope of work, and LAFCO.
Okay, well, we have issued the engineering portion of the a draft engineering portion of the technical information that's needed for Stanley Hoffman to prepare the MSR, and staff and the ad hoc committee will get together and review that as soon as we can, and once that's approved, we'll issue it to the state. Lawrence will need to take a look at it, Jesse probably as well, and then it will go to Stanley Hoffman. That's the 600-page document that's weighing down the table there someplace.
Okay, thank you. H, had been tabled, MOU, still tabled.
Yes.
I, discuss and vote on Lake of the Woods projects and consolidation. Joan, you were eager to share some information with us?
Hey guys, I think I'll take this, if that's all right,
Thank
and
you.
then Joan can pop in.
That's me.
All
Pam?
right. All right,
Please
so for a $3.5 million grant in March, the state issued our final budget approval letter. So we have gotten approval for all of that except for the change order, which are the additional lines we talked to you guys about. We've done the notice of award to Sierra Construction. The county encroachments have done, and the DRR are done. In April, we've done a pre-construction meeting. The contracts have been signed. Right now, we're just working on the county to finalize traffic control, because as you know, in different areas, we're going to need more traffic control than, like, say, off in the corner of Lake of the Woods. So we're working on that with them. So I'm hoping we should be starting construction on line replacements in the next couple of weeks. We'll do a notice to proceed shortly. The generator project, we submitted. Yeah, we're super excited. It's getting real, guys.
Question.
Yeah.
Who's the contractor?
Sierra Construction.
Sierra, okay.
I'm sorry. Did I speak too fast? Okay, and then the generator grant. Go ahead. Okay, the generator grant, we submitted all the paperwork for the FBA on that. It's looking at like 1.4, 1.5 million for the 2 generators. And we're looking at well number 6 and 7 for those locations because of the power source and the footprint that we need. Now, do you guys have any questions on the 3.5 and the generator before I move on to the 5 million? Okay.
No, I don't believe so.
$5 million grant. In March, we got all the biological, the aquatic, the cultural done. Environmental package was submitted to the state. The state has asked for some clarification, and P&P is responding. CEQA documents are done. The NEPA are done. Creek crossing permits for the applications and the exhibits are complete, and they'll be submitted soon. Okay, so we're still waiting on how long the permit's going to take to get back to us on that. California Department of Fish and Wildlife are done. Army Corps of Engineers. Regional Water Quality Control Board, Section 401 is done. Okay, so the special use permit that you guys all know about that we have to get for ourselves as well, that application and all the exhibits have been submitted. We're waiting for the forestry to get back to us on when they will be able to let us know when that's going to be approved, and that could take 8 to 9 months. They're gonna, once they do approve it, they're gonna issue us a letter for a cost recovery agreement. I'm sure you guys know about that with your special use permits. P&P has done all the boundary and topographical surveys for our springs and where our tanks are located on the forestry property. Okay, base of design. So P&P has been working on our hydraulic model, from our operator, and using all of that to conform our pipes for the $5 million, because we're gonna have to put in a PVR station, pressure regulating station, and looking at our south tank requirements, because those are in like really odd areas that are going to balance between personal property and the forestry. We've been doing boring with BSK. So we've gotten 19, we got 19 we have to do, and we've only gotten 9 completed so far because of the weather. All utility companies have been contacted for our project so that we have all the mappings to do our designs. And what else? So we're looking at base of design memos to be done by the end of this month, environmental documents by the end of August, and then 90% of the designs and specs to be done by December. Talking about well number 4. Well number 4 is in flushing to waste. We have high iron and manganese all of a sudden, and we think it's because the recharge has been happening so quickly. We're working with well rehab right now with PNP and trying to look through years of water that we've gotten over the years to see if there's correlation. Our water sounding is coming up. We've gone up 3 feet in almost all the wells since the end of March.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, the blending station, nitrates are happening and going higher for well number 7 and well number 1. And those are being blended at our blending station with well number 2. So Eric is working on that closely right now. We shut off well number 7. Everything's on manual with 1 and 2, and we're just keeping an eye on it. We think it's the recharge as well, that it's just not having. Are you guys noticing that with your well number 5 too? With the recharge?
We can't sound well 5 because of the way it's constructed, but we've definitely seen an increase in the recharge on well 6.
Okay. Yeah.
Several feet.
So we've asked Eric to start sounding weekly now, just to keep an eye on this. And then we're also looking at, like I said, the water percentages over the years with our well rehab people at PNP. So that was a lot of information. Tiffany, if you want my notes, I can email them so you can just add them to your minutes if you want.
Yes.
All right, guys. Hopefully next time it'll be
Boy,
just me.
You've been working hard, Pam.
We all have been. There's been a lot going on, so I'm sorry. I was rushing. I was trying to get you guys up to date and up to speed on all of our little Alps working over here.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. Letter J, discussion vote on claims and payouts.
Won't be until next.
None? Okay.
That'll be our next meeting.
Number 14, discussion vote update on FPPUD meter replacement project and emergency wells project. A, discussion vote update on well number 7.
Okay, well number 7, we are still working to get the final costs together, and hopefully we'll have those in about a week or so. The well itself, of course, we're recommending that we abandon that. And then what we're doing is working with the contractor to finish up, what kind of restocking costs are we going to have, and those types of things. So we're working on that right now for well 7.
Director Nyman, you have a question?
So are you going to try and have that information for the state update meeting, Dee?
That's our goal, Rama, to do that. Yes.
Okay.
Discussion vote update on meter replacement.
We've been through most of the submittals. We're just about done with those. Bruff is getting the meters ordered next week. So, again, we're looking at the lead time, 10 to 12 months, something like that. So we're pushing him to, move those ahead. And so everything's been approved with respect to that. So we should be able to go ahead and make those orders. And then we're working with the rest of the detail on the submittals, and should have those done again a week or so, and back to Bruff.
Okay, thank you.
And that's the AMI meters.
Yes.
Okay.
Letter C, discussion vote on claims and payouts. Next meeting.
Next meeting.
I have a comment concerning that. I just wanted to bring
Go
it
ahead,
up.
Oscar, the floor.
On Friday, April 7th, Lawrence sent a email concerning claim 12. And he indicated that there are 2 change orders referenced, one for $10,000 and one for $128,144. and they did not include any backup. So he was just kind of saying that DFA cannot pay the change orders without substantiating a detailed backup.
Yeah, I think Curtis has been coordinating with Lawrence regarding that, Oscar.
Okay, I just wanted to just bring it up.
Thank you, Oscar.
What progress payment is that, Oscar?
That's claim 12.
Yeah, but do you know what that, was that for Unified?
Yes.
And we also paid a $325,000. Is that, they're gonna be on this claim, claim 13?
No, I believe that was on, give me a second. I was on claim 12, Brahma.
Okay, so we've submitted that, okay.
Yes.
All
That
right,
was progress payment number 3, and that's where Lawrence is having the questions on that part.
what part of that, 325,000, is that what you're saying?
Yes, because I think some of those were change orders and that's the issue.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, make sure that, Curtis takes care of that, Dee, because we gotta pay that money back.
And that was my question when we were doing the financials for that. When we were first looking at them, is that I had questions about those change orders and there wasn't good documentation with them. So we definitely need that documentation.
10-4. D, letter D, discussion vote, update on bridge loan requests and payments.
That's not really with him, but basically, we received a bridge loan of $325,000, which we made the payment already to Unified, and we've put this on the claim, and this is why it's imperative that he gets the documentation so we can get paid, so we can pay the bridge loan back, because we have obligations.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Number 15, discussion vote on pipeline replacement project. A, discussion vote update on potholing and mapping.
Well, I think, okay, I think the weather is now clearing up and it'll be dry enough. We can finish up the potholing. So that should happen as soon as we can just get clearance from Johnny that it's okay, that we can move ahead. And when we do that, that'll be the next week or two, as soon as we can get Lyle's scheduled.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, it's.
I've been asking Curtis. Curtis said he would check with Lyles on their availability, but if you could,
Tell them we're ready.
get them scheduled, that'd be great.
We'll do it.
Okay, B, discussion vote on project budget.
We won't have that until we,
Design.
until he finishes potholing and mapping, then, I mean, he's already worked on some of the budget, but it won't be done. Isn't that correct, Dee?
Yep. Yes, it is.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And
C, discussion vote on project plans and specs.
won't be done until potholing and mapping.
Okay? Thank you.
And won't be done until potholing and mapping and specs are done. Application.
Okay, that covers C and D.
Yep.
16, discuss vote update on urgent drinking water needs funding.
Just waiting on the check. Check's in the mail.
That's what they said.
Checks in the mail, love it.
That's for when
That's the 200,000 we
for the
took out of
well.
our
Yeah.
CIR.
Yeah, but that's the money from the well thing, not from our.
Water hauling,
Yeah,
yeah.
so we've done, this is the first.
No, this is the first one,
Yeah.
the major one,
Right,
that we got approval on.
right.
And Jesse, I guess we're eating that 6,000 probably. And we-
We haven't had the meeting yet with Jesse and Mark and fix them to get together.
So we're still working on it.
We're still working on it. Okay.
That's what I was
Good.
wanting to find out.
Number 17, discussion vote update on Cal OES Community Power Resiliency Allocation to Special Districts Grant. A, discussion vote update on the purchase of the generators, which has been completed.
Yeah,
And-
and,
Before you guys move on, I think this is where I'm gonna say goodnight. And
Right, Carlos?
we'll
Good
see you
night,
guys
Carlos.
at the next
Good night,
meeting.
Oscar.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. See you next time.
And can I also just say that it's very kind of tinny on the audio now, and so if you guys can try not to step on each other talking, because it comes in and out a little bit, and it's kind of at least on my end, it's hard to hear. So yeah, if you just can try not to step on each other, because then I can't hear what's being said.
Let's continue with 17B. Discussion vote on engineering and design.
okay, can we, back up to the generator part first?
Oh, absolutely. Let's go back to A.
We've been working on, Curtis and Greg worked on starting the permits for the generators. San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control. Then, so I went down, I paid the fees for all of that stuff. And now I'm working with them. They've sent me, several emails, so I know they're working on it, but they even wanted a site plan, not plans, but where on each site we're gonna put the generator. So like today, I had to give them 2 guesses on well 5, cause I haven't worked with D yet, where we're gonna put it. And I kinda guessed where we were gonna put it at Wolf Tank. So we're still gonna need D, or Curtis to come up here, go over each site, so then he could do the plans and specs. And I could also solidify with San Joaquin where we're gonna put them. I don't know why they need to know locations, but apparently they do, so.
Like a plot plan for each site?
No, yeah, not necessarily that, like the first time I sent them a screenshot of Google Earth with 10 on it, where I was putting it, and then they had me do that with other sites as well, so. Hopefully that will be sufficient for them. But I gotta confirm with Dee that we can even put it where I wanna put it. Right?
We'll do it next week, Johnny.
Sounds good.
And then, what about the other part?
Colleen, what other part?
I can't, the banks, the load banks.
Well, that was a long lead time to begin with. We're still trying to figure out how much we're gonna pay them, by holding back money on the load banks. I've been trying to work with, I sent a few emails to Curtis and Greg asking for a meeting. I want them to send somebody up to do a startup of the generators while they're sitting there, first of all, to make sure that they're all operational, because they may sit here for, several months. I wanna make sure that when they were delivered, they all ran. So we still have to work through that, and when they come up to do that, hopefully they'll come up with a invoice that's got the load banks listed, not delivered, and then we'll decide how much to cut the next check for.
Okay. B, discussion vote on engineering and design.
Well, that'll happen
Oh,
as soon
yeah.
as we get them located, and then we'll do plot plans for each of the generators.
So you're coming up next week for that, Dean?
Yes, we'll look at each one of the locations, and then I'll make some notes, and then we'll send up our surveyor, and he'll look at the sites, and then we'll develop, once Johnny, has the location that he wants, then we'll use that for the design of the pads.
Okay, sounds good. Number 18, discussion vote update on district water tank repair and replacement. A, discussion vote update on Elk Tank.
I have, nothing on that.
Nothing new? B, discussion vote update on parcel B.
Now, I still have to follow up with, USDA, when I reached out, he was on the training for a week or more. So now I have to get back down there and try to talk to, trying to blank now on his name, nice guy down there, USDA. But we did just have our annual sanitary survey done by the state. And, look on Ryan Eisenhower's face when he seen parcel B, what it looked like was, something to behold. I mean, it leaks out of so many different teams, it's just unbelievable, so. Said he can't make us replace it because you don't have the money, but certainly would be nice to start working on replacement of that tank.
Okay, thank you. Number 19 has been tabled. We'll go on to new business. Number 20, discussion vote on district record retention policy.
This is Joan. Before we go on to new business, I'm sorry, there might have been noise in the background. I didn't hear Johnny's answer. When we asked if he's seeing the nitrate levels going up, are you noticing anything on your analyzer?
It's staying consistent with what it was. It's down like around 7.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Water.
Welcome.
Is that it, John? Number 20, discussion vote on district record retention policy. Who would like to lead off that discussion?
Okay, well, we need to, start, seriously looking at, how long we need to retain records, free up some space in our storage unit down there, and I noticed that also has a leak that's going through the window, but, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but our office that we're trying to store stuff in, lower office, the roof's been gone on that, we have it covered with tarps right now.
I saw the blue tarps on the way
I
up.
figure it's gonna be at least $10,000 to $15,000 to put a roof on that. And I don't know that necessarily that's the best way to spend our money, if we can find out what kind of records we can dispose of and which ones to keep. So we reached out to, was it Jerry Pearson? Or Alan?
This is Alan.
Reached out to Alan for a records retention policy, and he sent us over one, and it's broken out, way better than I ever thought it would be. I mean, it lists every type of document and how long you're supposed to keep it. So, I mean, that's included in this. You guys could, discuss and vote on it.
Yeah, the one we have is 20 years old, I
Yeah.
think, so it had to be updated.
I would like to have more time to read through this. Just
We
for
keep
one.
this in our packet until next meeting, Director Schoenberg?
I personally would prefer that because I have some, as I've stated before, some possible issues with this. And so I'd like to be able to read through and be able to ask my own questions to Alan. And I think, that would be appropriate because it's really hard to hear. I keep hearing interference. Anyway, I think it would be appropriate for us to hopefully be able to have him available for any discussion on this, even though he's written this all up very, very clearly. That's just my.
What questions do we need to have if it's so clear? I mean, it seems to me that there's a lot of stuff in here that we have to, there's some things we have to keep.
I understand that, but there's some things that are pertinent for us to keep because of issues that crop up about once every. In fact, what most of the people on the board are not familiar with that. I think maybe Jerry was on there. There's some issues I'd like to discuss it more at length, but there's a few things like some issues that haven't come up for a long time, but could potentially come up again that have to do with easements, and they're all in these old records. So I'd really like.
But Johnny actually went to the county and spent $200.
Okay, Director Nyman, I get that. This has nothing to do with easements that already exist. This has to do with old records where we asked for conservation easements that never happened. And right now, those people haven't come back, but they seem to show up like after many, many years, hoping that the directors have forgotten about this, that I experienced it once since I've been on the board. So there are some questions I have, and so that's why I want to go over this very carefully and make sure that on some particular issues that have the potential of coming up that you, before you were ever on the board, Director Nyman or Director Kelling, and I believe maybe, because he's been on as long as I have almost, I believe that.
Well, I don't have a problem with you making a list of things. I mean, if there's certain things that we think that we should keep, that's okay with me. If it has to do with certain issues, and that's fine if you want to make a list. You know, because we're more talking about, you know, invoices and just because we have everything down there, we have to clear out some of the stuff. We do not have room to keep everything.
There's boxes of handwritten payment receipts on carbonless paper that can't even be read anymore from
Right.
many years ago.
I understand that. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about some other items. So I just need to be able to clearly, like, I haven't had much time to spend with this at all. I picked this up today. So,
Okay. Director Stoltenberg, would you like it carried over to next meeting or next regular meeting?
Next regular meeting.
next regular meeting.
Okay. Got that, Tiffany? Okay. Copy that. Got it on the agenda.
Do we need
Number
to,
21. Sorry, go ahead.
do we need to vote to table it till then, or do we?
I'll make a motion that we table the district's record retention policy until the next regular meeting.
I'll second
I'll
that.
second it.
Motion has been made and seconded. Roll call of directors. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0-0. Motion carried.
Jay, who was the seconder?
Aye.
Okay.
We both did. You can put Kelly or whoever it was.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just clarifying.
Okay, 21, discussion vote review of district board member code of conduct.
And why are we looking at this?
Director Schoenberg was
Everyone have a chance to read it?
Yeah.
I did. Signed by Terry Kelly in 2018.
Yep.
Anyone think there should be any improvements or changes?
I'm okay with it.
Nope.
I
Director Schoenberg wanted it on the agenda.
Well, she wanted to say something.
Director Schoenberg, you have the floor.
Yeah, I wanted it on our agenda because I think it's important for us to read, and I think that we all, including myself, need to review it carefully because sometimes we are not following this as well as I think we should. I guess is the best way I can put it. So whether or not we need to change anything on it, I don't know, but I do know that it's definitely something that we need to be really aware of.
I agree. It made me look at myself.
Director Gibson, you have something to add?
We couldn't hear that well, Director Gibson.
Oh, I'm sorry. When I read through it, it made me look at myself. You know, I think it's something, and I've already put it aside to remind myself about how I need to be.
I would think that maybe we keep it in our folders So next regular meeting, if any of us come up with improvements or really take the time to read it, and just use it as a self-improvement guide. I think we have a strong board of directors, and I agree with you, Director Schoenberg, that sometimes we don't act as well as we should or could. And just to reemphasize who we represent and the business that we are doing here is a big responsibility. And sometimes after years of being on the board, maybe we do get stale. And I think it's a good reminder. So maybe we should just keep it in the back of our notebooks for reference. Should the occasion arise that we want to refer to it.
Okay.
Any agreements, disagreements, comments?
Yeah, that's really why I brought that up. It wasn't necessarily to change anything immediately. It was just to kind of remind all of us, like I said, including myself, of what we've written in the past, and to see if we're able to adhere to that, and also we can all just think about if there's anything else that needs to be added. It doesn't have to be this evening.
There's a point well taken, Director Schoenberg. Can we leave these in the back of our notebooks and easy reference should we need them? Okay, number 22, discussion vote on bylaws and rules and regulations.
So I believe we need to put in some additional wording that isn't here in regard to the, and I think Tiffany has done that in red with quite a bit of that, but in regard to the changes of times on meetings, in regard to, because we made that big change. So I don't know if we want to should we just read through the red sections and make sure
Just
that
the red.
okay? And then we also just need to make sure that we have the standing committees in here correctly, which I think she also put in. So I think we just need to read for now the sections that have been changed, and then if we think of anything else, and we can put it back on the agenda for additional changes. But we definitely need to at least change the items in red that Tiffany's done for us.
Okay.
I'll read the changes in red, starting with number 10. The Board of Directors shall meet on the second Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. and fourth Thursday of each month at 4 p.m. Generally at the FPPUD main office or other location that is duly noticed consistent with the applicable law. The board may vote to adjust regular meeting dates should they fall on a holiday. 11. The standing committees of the Board of Directors shall meet generally at the FPPUD main office or at another location that is duly noticed consistent with the applicable law. The board may vote to adjust regular meeting dates should they fall on a holiday. The standing committees shall meet at the following times. Accounts Payable Standing Committee shall meet on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month at 11 a.m. State Update Meeting Standing Committee shall meet on the third Thursday of each month at 10 a.m. Quarterly Financial Standing Committee shall first meet at 11 a.m. on the third Tuesday of January, April, July, and October, and 2 weeks after the first.
Is that, by putting
Director Killen.
in here, That means in 25, in 26, in 27,
Yeah,
those will always be that way?
25, 26, 27 years.
Years.
In the years? Because not necessarily will there be 5 weeks in the same.
Right, that's why we have to put again 2 weeks later, because we couldn't cite a date. Sometimes there's 5 Tuesdays, sometimes there's 4 Tuesdays. So that's why it's always the 3rd day
And 2
of
weeks
the
after.
month after that.
Well, I think the wording, yeah, so we looked through for a couple of years, Director Kelly, and it appeared to work that way pretty consistently, that it's always either if the month is going to have 5 Tuesdays, then it works fine on the 5th. And if the month doesn't have 5 Tuesdays, then it works fine on the 1st Tuesday. But so it shouldn't ever run into the AP standing committee. But I'm a little concerned about the wording, and again, 2 weeks after the first meeting. It sounds like, I don't know, that doesn't quite work, I think. Shall first meet at 11 a.m. on the 3rd Tuesday of January, April, July, and October, and again, 2 weeks after the first meeting of each quarter, I think, or something, so that they
Because it
understand.
only sounds like they're meeting those months and not the other months.
They're only meeting those months.
They're not gonna meet in February.
We're a quarterly financial committee, so everything else is an ad hoc. But we're going over, so right now the ad hoc is going over previous financials that have nothing to do with this year. Our hope is that because we have a quarterly financial standing committee, that we don't have all those headaches when it comes time for the audit, because we will have examined every quarter the financials for that quarter, and anything that's like, we will be able to red flag things earlier so that we can fix them before the last minute. So that's why it was such a mess and it took so long for 2021, is because, well, we had all kinds of extenuating circumstances like changing bookkeepers, multiple times, but we didn't have a way to go over things on a regular basis. This is only a quarterly committee, so that quarterly we can just kind of review and make sure nothing stands out. But I do think we need to add something like that says, and again, 2 weeks after the first meeting of each quarter, or something like that, Tiffany. Because it's not clear whether we meet again 2 weeks after only the first meeting, or if it's after the first meeting of every quarter. So I think if you put every quarter, that would clear that up and there won't be a question.
First meeting of each quarter.
Yes.
Okay. Change is made. Good point.
so someone want to make a motion?
I will move that we approve the resolution of the Board of Directors of the Fraser Park Public Utility District adopting the bylaws and regulations, and with the changes for 10 and 11.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded. Roll call on directors. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director
That-
Kelly.
I'm sorry, wait, is that with the amendment or without?
That's with the amendment.
With the wording change that you asked for.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure, because I didn't hear that part of the motion.
Okay, let's start over again. Motion has been made with clarification and seconded. Roll call directors. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0-0, motion carried. Number 23, discussion vote on leasing the security camera system from American Business Machines.
When we renewed our lease for the copier, I was informed that they have another division that does cameras. You guys probably remember we put these cameras in. These were Costco cameras from several years ago. They failed after a couple of repairs, realized they weren't getting better. They're really for a home style house. Even then, I wouldn't buy them. So anyway, they have a leasing program for 60 months for $312 a month. The cameras, they come in, they put in cameras. They're going to put a 360-degree camera in the yard, which we've never had, so we could see the whole yard, see what's going on. I'll be able to access it from anywhere. It'll send notifications when people come. If somebody's here at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll get a notification, be able to review it. It's going to have a DVR, but it's also coming with a cage that they'll bolt into the wall to make sure that people can't just run in, break in, and steal the camera while we're trying to watch it. And I think that cost-wise, the leasing is a much better idea than trying to purchase another Costco-type camera system. Monitor our stuff.
I have a couple questions. What happens?
Director Schoenberg, go ahead.
Thank you. First of all, you gave a different amount than the amount I'm reading here, which is $341.41. But what I'm curious about is any kind of wordings that what happens after the lease. So are we physically buying this equipment and then we have it after the lease, or will they come and take it and do a new lease, kind of like what they've been doing with our copy machine?
It would be the same as the copy machine. I'm
So
trying to see where you're, oh yeah, let's see, 341.41. Yeah, the handwritten one I got says 312 that he gave when he came, but, so he must have updated it, and it's 341.41.
so I'm just, is there something that they can write in this that, so we're not paying this amount, we're only paying the 60-month amount? Or is this?
You can either buy the camera system outright for the amount listed there, or you can pay the lease, and then every 5 years, I think they upgrade the camera system, just like they did the copier. But if you guys like the idea and you do approve it, then I'll get everything in writing on how that works, and then if there's any problems, then I'll come back to you to, because they're holding a quote for us at this cost right now, so.
Has anyone added it together? Is that 341.41 the actual cost of all this stuff over 60 months?
No, I didn't check their math.
But we're not paying the 16,000, is that what you're saying, if we lease it?
That's basically what it comes out to, is 16,000, I think. Look, I just did
Basically, I think it works like a car lease. I think we're buying all of the stuff, but over a 60-month period. So I just want to.
500.
Huh?
20,000.
Oh, yeah, so it'd be
No, you take the 16,000 and you divide it by 60, because it's a 60-month. And the total, they're saying.
It would cost more to buy it, at these payments than, it'd be cheaper to just buy it outright by about $3,500 than do it with the lease. But with the lease, they handle anything that goes wrong, anything that happens to it, stops working, they come in and fix it.
And now that would become,
Yeah,
would come in the agreement,
yeah.
that they would do all the repairs?
Yeah, I'll get the whole agreement and everything before we do it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much for this, but I would just like a little bit more of the agreement. I'd like to just see the agreement.
All right.
But they've been really great to us, and I don't really have a problem, and I'm very much for it. I just want a few more details. So.
Carry it over. Would you like to carry it over then until we have more information? Director Schoenberg?
I mean, I would say I could even give it a vote of confidence as long as we have, as long as they follow.
Everything's spelled out?
Yeah, as long as they follow through with giving us the, the same kind of deal that we have basically on the copy machine.
Let's carry it over for 2 weeks till the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at that time, I'll have the updated information, then you can vote on it. I'll tell them that in theory that you guys are approving it as long as certain concerns are addressed.
Yeah, we wanna see the lease.
Perfect.
Yeah, we wanna know exactly.
Yeah, I wanna see a lease, I don't wanna
Okay,
see this.
point taken. Number 24, discussion vote on purchasing a meeting camera and microphone. Tiffany, you wanna talk to us about that?
Yeah, so as you know, the speakerphone that we're using right now is failing, the microphone is failing. We're using the iPad as a camera, so our whole Zoom system is, not working so great, so we need a different solution. I'm not a tech person, I'm not making any claims that this is gonna work or not work. I basically watched a YouTube video about camera systems that work with Zoom, and this was one of them that was suggested. I did make sure that this is through Amazon, so you have a 30-day return policy on it. So if we try to use it for a meeting and it works great, we can keep it. If it doesn't work, then we can return it to Amazon. That's all I got. And this is a 360 camera with microphone built in, so it would sit in the center of the room right here, like on the table, and it's supposed to pick up everyone's faces from the center and then act as an omnidirectional microphone at the same time.
Yeah, I would just speak because the current way that we're doing things, it's really tinny and hard to understand, and stuff kind of comes in and out, which I know it's a very fixed system right now. So yeah, I'd be really interested in trying that, but if it, and then playing back the streaming YouTube stuff and seeing how easy it is to hear everything and see everything.
So do we make a motion or just direct her to go ahead and purchase it, or what would we like to do? Director Kelly?
Did you ask the computer guy, what he would recommend when he was in? Because I know he's come in to try to fix stuff.
Bill doesn't, he mostly just does like hardware to the computers. He doesn't do, we've talked to him before, audio, video stuff.
Yeah, he's not an expert, nor is, anybody really that, the guy that put in our phone system and everything, he does a lot of that stuff, but he can't even make a recommendation because it's all dependent on Zoom, how it works with that, but since we can return it if it doesn't work, please, you look for the return policy, right?
Yeah, I clicked on Amazon. It's got the 30 days, so I'm hoping once we get it,
Yeah.
we'll have a meeting. If it works great, we'll keep it, and if not, I'll just keep the box and everything all nice, neat and clean.
And to me, it's well worth the money. It looks good. It's got artificial intelligence for zooming in, cameras and the microphone. So, if we're gonna be with the times, we need to. We can't really do it on an iPad, definitely.
Yeah, well, I just don't want the camera focusing on my face.
It'll be focused on your face. The way it works is that they zoom, I haven't used this one, but I've been at a meeting that's had a different one, and it basically, if you get up, it follows you.
That's what I'm saying.
It's gonna be no different than, if we were to ever have people sitting in the boardroom, though. I mean, when somebody's talking, they're gonna be looking at your face, and if you get up and walk around, they're gonna look at you too, so it's really no different than having people in-house.
I think there's a couple of different modes you can set it to. One to follow the speaker, or one just to, what I'm hoping is to do 2 panorama shots. So it'll take like one side of the meeting table and then a panorama of the other side of the meeting table and have 2 images up.
Except you don't want her face on it either, so.
No, I don't. So I'm hoping that we'll do it that way and not the follow the speaker mode. But we'll be able to play with it and see how it works, what we like.
Yeah, because the follow the speaker mode, and I don't know when it does both sides of the table, but my experience with these is it will zoom in like on its own, and it keeps track of wherever you're at.
I'll entertain a motion to act on the camera and microphone.
Yeah, I'll move that we go ahead. I mean, I do not like the current system we're using, and it's better than what we have. So I'll move that we go ahead and purchase this, just making sure that you can open the boxes to be able to get the refund. Open and hook up things. I believe you can, but
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded. Roll call of directors. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0-0, motion carried. Number 25, discussion vote on purchasing leak detection equipment. Johnny?
Okay, as we found out when we had the big leak, we were sorely lacking in leak detection equipment of any sort. Had to borrow, Milford Churros and then call out a leak detection guy. So when he got done, the leak detection guy from Calvert Water recommended that we buy, the leak detection equipment, the listening device. He also recommended some crazy other things, $25,000. So I negated that, but he always recommended that and a drone. And I didn't even present the listening device that he recommended because it costs more. I'm recommending the one that we borrowed from Milford Churro because they use it effectively. It's not only good for big leaks, but it's good for listening if there's water going through a meter, through a pipe, through a valve, anywhere where we don't know, because as I'm sure you guys are aware, a lot of times you don't even know if water's flowing through the pipe. You'll turn on a booster, you assume it's flowing, but since we don't have meters on most of our tanks or boosters, there's no way to know. So you have to be able to listen to it and find out. So that's the first part of this. Second part is the drone. The drone is not only for looking for leaks, but we would have found that leak long before 4 days ago if we could have done an overhead where we could see down through sagebrush and stuff and fly the pipelines. Then, this came out right after he made the recommendation, which surprised me, but it's JPIA is talking about all the benefits of drones, using drones. The one I had quoted is the same one that's on the front of this. And what I hadn't thought about was the fact that, like, when we have to periodically inspect the tops of our tanks to make sure that the screens are still on there to keep birds and mice and whatever from getting into our tanks. And some of our tanks don't even have a ladder on them. So we're throwing a ladder that weighs way too much to get on top of tanks with no fall protection or anything of any sort. Might behoove us just go ahead and buy a drone where we can do that consistently. Also fly over areas where we know we have piping. Like say for instance from McGee tank all the way down to, we can't even see the line unless we hike it all the way from McGee all the way down by the fire station. It could be leaking, that could be part of our water line that we don't even see. And we can't really have the guys go out periodically walk every inch of the pipeline. So there's two quotes in here. One is just for the itself and the simple controller, or the other one, which is better, it's got instead of using your phone to watch what it's flying on, it's got an actual controller with the thing, a carrying case, the memory card that you'll have to buy, extra battery. So I would recommend we go for the listening device as well as the second quote on the drone.
I have one question, Johnny. Somewhere, and I'm trying to find it on our financials, there was a radio detection. There was something that we already purchased.
Yeah, we have a pipeline locator that if you could get to the pipe, then you could locate where the pipe runs, but it doesn't do any type of leak detection. And this is not going to be a fix-all. We're not going to be finding a million leaks all the time beneficial, but it will certainly help us find a lot of leaks, and it's relatively cheap. I mean, we could have bought the locator and the drone for less than it costs to hold the water, let alone the cost of losing 1 million gallons of water. So it just seems like a good addition to our repertoire. And almost all the other water companies have the listening devices. That's not unusual. Milford Churro has 3 or 4, which is why they can loan them to us. But drone would be something different. I've researched what's required. You gotta get an FAA license. You have to, take the training. It's, pretty simple. You gotta do flight logs to make sure that you keep that stuff logged. So, I mean, none of that would be a problem, but, it is something I think we should get.
I'll entertain a motion.
Before the motion, just a quick question. Didn't we purchase a leak locator in the past?
No, we
Or was that-
purchased a pipe locator, and we
No,
purchased a stethoscope with a metal rod on it for next to nothing that I got in my office, where you could walk up and you could listen like a doctor onto a pipe, but it's not computer controlled, or you can't really, I mean, it's kind of a joke. It was more for a mechanic to try to listen to a knocking rocker or something in an engine, as opposed to trying to find a water leak.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion at this time.
I will make a motion that we purchase a leak detection equipment.
And what about are you doing two separate motions, a separate motion for the drone?
And a drone, thank you for, okay, maybe my motion was premature.
Well,
I couldn't form it right.
Why don't we do them as two separate motions? So why don't you go ahead and make your motion, Director Gibson, and we'll just do them as two separate motions.
Okay, so can the motion stand as I stated it? I make a motion that we purchase the leak detection equipment. Well, doesn't that include them? Okay.
No. Motion has been made and seconded by Director Nyman. Roll call of directors. Director Nyman. Aye. Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schallenberg.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0-0, motion carried. I will entertain a motion for a drone to assist in reviewing and inspecting our infrastructure.
Can I ask a question? Because he's got stuff for two different drones here. One's 2,800, the other one is 4,900.
He wants,
Okay.
second.
Actually, page 2 of the first one, where it says 2849, if you add the 3 items that it could come with, that would suffice. That comes with the handheld controller with a good display, so you're not using your phones. It comes with the memory card with the adapter, and the omnidirectional obstacle sensor drone. And that's a total of $4,012.86. The other one just came with extra batteries, stuff like that.
You're not gonna be in there that long, are you?
Huh?
You won't be in there that long, will you?
Well, I'm sure it's gonna take at least an hour to fly over the system, at least. The batteries probably last about 20 to 30 minutes.
Well, it's at 45 minutes.
Well, yeah, they always say that stuff, but in practicality, it says that about drill guns too. I've never had one last as long as they say. But, if we decide that we need another one down the road, I'm sure another battery is not, crazily expensive or prohibitive.
Have you done research on the different types of drones, and you know that this particular drone?
I have. I've done research. I've also flown one of these, but I did research, especially after DPIA had this one listed on the cover of their thing about drones. And this is for the price, it's the best money spent. If got obstacle avoidance, if the battery starts running down, it returns to where it took off from. If it loses communication, it comes back to the point of launch. There's just a lot of factors for the money that's good. You can spend a whole lot more money than that, but we don't need that for our situation.
A question, you want the SIM card or the extra card and stuff? Do you intend to back up this data or?
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we're gonna download it onto the computer and save it. Particularly, I mean, the state would love, eventually the state would love to have that information as well. But since it's electronic, it takes very little space to store this stuff. And you're supposed to maintain flight logs.
Well, the second one says 4,900.
That's
Yeah,
because the second, I'm saying, page 2 of the first quote, if you get the 3 added items,
He wants
on page 2 of the quote,
just all of this.
it's only 4,000. If you wanted to go with extra battery and all the extra stuff, that's the 49.59.
But they're
That's technically the first.
no, they're two different items. Because
They're two
one
different
does,
drones.
yeah, they're two different drones. One does 2160p and the other one does FHD and 1080p. So they're two different drones. They're
I
two different
agree, but
models.
I'm talking about what actually matters is the fact that it's still basically the same drone, but the one is enhanced more as well as it comes with more equipment than the first one. But it's still the DJI Mavic 3 drone.
The one's a better, it has higher resolution.
Great. And if I thought you guys were gonna approve it, I would say let's get the 4,900 one. Because you might as well go for, what you want, right? Better, but that's why I included extra stuff for you to look at, so you can decide that.
And then I just have a question in regard to this. We're gonna have to do some newspaper articles or something before you ever fly this so that people know what's going on, because otherwise they're gonna be very concerned.
Yeah, we'll do the same thing that, Edison does. Tell people that we're flying a drone and why.
Because I know there's some guy up behind me, he flies his drone around my house all the time.
Yeah, I had one guy flying and he was hovering for several minutes, about 30 feet over my deck, and I thought about throwing something at it, because he was definitely intruding on my privacy, but, ours wouldn't be over houses like that. It's gonna be flying higher, and it's gonna be following pipelines or tanks as opposed to staring at somebody standing on a deck. We'll have a newspaper run an article on it about how we're, since we lost that water, that we're, doing everything we can to prevent such a loss again. And this is how we're spending the money. I think it would be a positive, report.
And is there insurance on this, or what happens if we crash it?
And you eat the cost, which is why you buy one that's got a collision avoidance, so you hope you don't do that. I mean, insurance, JPIA is pushing the benefits of it, so JPIA will insure it. We'll list it as an asset, no insured, I'm sure. I mean, that's what the handout is that we got right here. You didn't get one because you're not in here, but, the handout says that we can even apply for, something through them. The risk control grant can greatly help in the implementation of a drone program. So they already have policies written that we can follow for drone use.
I got a staff training.
Yeah, so they're our insurance provider is all for it.
Okay, yeah, I don't have any of that information in front of me, so yeah, that would just be concern.
Well, none of us have had time to read it either, so.
Tool. It's a tool that we're gonna definitely need to save time and money on leaks and problem areas that we can't access as easily down through the air.
Now, even in here, it says who's gonna operate and who's gonna
It'll be me.
maintain the drone.
It's gonna be me. The only one that consistently stays for any length of time.
And this is the one that's actually recommend, I just don't have the other stuff in front of me. This is the one that JPIA is recommending.
Well, nobody's recommending saying this is the one to buy because then that puts them at risk. But the one that they have on the front, which I'm gonna send you here in a minute, is this one.
Yeah, you don't need
It's,
to,
more-
it's okay. Okay, so this is the one that's on their cover of their
Yep.
magazine. Okay, well, I'd move I don't think we need the other one with the editing and the higher resolution necessarily, because I don't think we even have the capacity to play stuff at that resolution. The other one's at 4K, so that's probably enough. So I'm gonna move that we do the package of the less expensive, it's the same, not quite as high a resolution, and doesn't have the edit.
$4,012.86.
Yes. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded. Roll call directors. Director Diamond.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0-0. Motion carried. 26, discussion vote on sending the general manager to the Neptune Connect conference.
What,
You guys were
what,
gonna send me this the last time, but then it, other surgeries and complications affected it. The conference itself is cheap, but it gives there's all kinds of training classes there, information available on the meters that we're getting. It's in Florida, but I'm hoping, the reason I'm presenting it right now is because the conference ain't until September. I'm hoping that I can shop around for a cheap air flight way in advance, so it's cheaper, because if you wait until it's time to go somewhere, it's a lot more expensive. So, it's up to you guys if you wanna send me, you know how I loathe traveling, but it seems like a good, thing considering that we're gonna be going to smart meters here.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if it wouldn't behoove us to wait a year to go? Because we're not even gonna get the meters for 10 or 12 months.
Part of what they're, promoting is knowing what you want and what you expect out of the system, so potentially, by learning more, I'll know what to watch for and what to be wary of during the whole
Ahead of the
installation process and all of that, and I don't know when the next one would be. I can check and see when the next one would be, but I was going for far off enough, like I said, about for the flight cost.
this one doesn't say September, it says June. Wait, oh, I see, it's the fees for if you register ahead of time.
Right. The training is September 11 to the 13th.
$100 cheaper if you register before June 1st.
Plus 179, plus, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's also gonna be the flight and the hotel and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So-
And a rent-a-car.
The last couple of times you guys have heard me to go someplace, the cost of the hotel, prevented me from wanting to go because the booked room rates weren't available anymore, and I would have had to pay twice as much to stay at another hotel near the site, so I just didn't go. Like the one in Sacramento.
So we're looking at about $1,500 or so.
Yeah, probably.
Three nights. 3 nights at 179 plus 250 plus the airfare. whatever the
Oh,
airfare
it
is.
has it right here.
And the
Neb-
rent-a-car.
And food,
Rent a car, yeah.
and food.
They have a negotiated room rate, 179 a night.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
So it'd be yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Neptune Connect Users Conference 2023 for, our GM, Johnny Allison.
Well, I
Do I have a
have,
second? Sorry, go ahead.
I have one question. I mean, what happens if we don't have enough people here for the system and you're that far away?
Well, I'm still, I mean, it's like if I go to Vegas to see my son, I'm the same amount of time away, except for I'm driving instead of flying. And, you know, I mean, we just gotta hope for the best, if that's not the situation. If it did happen like that, then I guess we would transfer to one of the board members, or to Tiffany, the flight, if I had to stay here for whatever emergency we had going on.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
so there's no count.
I mean, I can't, I mean, I have for the last almost 14 years lived my life not doing stuff because of that exact reason, but September's long enough to get some new guys trained. And now I got Pat Banfield that's available to work on leaks and stuff when I need to, and he's really knowledgeable. So, I mean, I would handle it just like I did when we had the pipe wash. I was going across the creek bed in the storm, and I was in Vegas, and I was making all the phone calls from Vegas.
okay. Was there a second?
No.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion that's been seconded. Roll call of directors. Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye, 5-0-0. Motion carried. 27, review and approve meeting minutes for March 7th, 2023. Accounts payable standing committee.
I move that we approve the Accounts Payable Standing Committee meeting minutes for Tuesday, March 7th, 2023 at 11 o'clock, with any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments or typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that we may need to be corrected.
Do I have a second?
I'll second
second
that.
Director Kelly has seconded. Roll call of directors. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye, 5-0-0. Motion carried. Review and approve meeting minutes for March 9th, regular meeting.
I make a motion that we approve the regular meeting minutes for the Thursday, March 9th, 2023 at 6 o'clock, with any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Director Kelly has seconded. Roll call of directors. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Garcia abstained. I was absent. 4-0, one abstention.
Hold on, because it has you present.
No, it didn't.
I didn't come to either meeting in March.
Nope, it says absent.
But now I got a question. Maybe this isn't the time to ask it. But if you can't,
Because why can I vote on the 8th?
yes,
It's always been that way.
Because it's a standing committee, and there's only two people at the standing committee, so therefore, the board is approving the minutes
You
for
weren't
it,
at that
it's
meeting,
okay.
or only two, board members were there.
Yeah,
So we take five voted on it.
that's what, it's just confusing to me.
Believe me, we
Okay.
don't do that. Okay, so we're.
Oh, okay, I make a motion that we approve the Accounts Payable Standing Committee meeting minutes for Tuesday, March 21st, 2023 at 11 o'clock, with any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that may not have been caught or that may need to be corrected.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Director Kelly has seconded. Director Nyman, roll call directors. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0-0. Motion carried. Review approved meeting minutes for March 23rd, 2023, regular.
I move that we, approve the regular state, planning and project regular meeting minutes for Thursday, March 23rd, 2023 at 6 o'clock, with any amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that we may need to be corrected.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Director Kelly has seconded. Roll call of directors. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Director Schoenberg?
I said aye. I don't know why you guys aren't hearing me.
I see what you mean about the cutting out. We just missed that. Okay, Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Garcia abstains. 4-0, 1 abstention. Motion carried. 28, discuss vote on future agenda items. I think we've picked them up along the way unless any of the directors have any new additions. Not hearing any, I will. Not hearing any, I'll move to number 29. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded by Director Kelly. Roll call of directors. Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0-0. Motion is carried. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
At what time?
We are adjourned at 8:08. Thank you all for
Wow.
participating.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.